If you own a local service business, you're probably going to hear a lot of people say SEO is dead. And if AI does not recommend your business, you're going to disappear. But that's not the full story. AI search is changing how customers discover businesses, but it did not erase the fundamentals. It exposed the businesses that were already unclear, unstructured, and hard to trust. So in this video, I'm going to show you what AI search actually changes, why SEO still matters, and what you should fix before you pay for any search service. And towards the end, I give you the exact checklist I would use. The easiest way to understand this is simple. Traditional Google is like a phone book. You search for something like roof company near me or best landscaper in Texas, and Google gave you a list of options. You clicked around, you compare websites, you looked at reviews, you made the decision. AI search is different. AI search is more like asking a hotel concierge who they recommend. The concierge does not just hand you every option in town. They filter, they summarize, they compare, they try to recommend a few trusted choices. And that changes the game because now your business does not only need to rank, it needs to be clear enough to summarize, credible enough to recommend, and structured enough to understand. So let me make this clear early. SEO is not dead. Lazy SEO is dead. AI search is another visibility layer on top of things that already mattered. Your website, your service pages, your social media presence, your Google business profile, your reviews, your local listings, your proof, your content, your calls to action. So if those assets are weak, AI did not create that problem. AI just made the problem more harder to ignore. Now, I want to show you this on screen because once you see what Google and AI tools are actually pulling from, the strategy becomes a lot clearer. We're going to look at two types of searches. First, a bottom of funnel search where someone is ready to find a company. Then a research style search where someone is trying to understand price, process, or who they should trust. And this is important because local businesses are not just competing for rankings anymore. They are competing to become the clearest, most trustworthy answer. Let's start with the normal local search. Something like best landscaper in Dallas or roof repair company, Atlanta. Now look at what shows up. You still have local results. You still have the map pack. You still have reviews. You still have business profiles. You still have websites. This is why I do not buy the idea that SEO is dead for local businesses. People are still searching with local intent. They still want to know who is nearby, who has good reviews, who looks credible, who offers the service, and who is easy to contact. So if your business does not have a complete Google business profile, strong reviews, clear service categories, photo service descriptions, and a website that backs all of this up, you're already making the decision harder for the customer. Now, let's look at the second layer. Now, this search is different. The person may not be ready to call yet. They are trying to understand costs. They are trying to figure out what is normal. They are comparing options. They are trying to avoid getting ripped off. And this is where AI search becomes really important because AI tools are built to summarize information. They look for clear answers. They look for pages that explain the topic. They look for sources that answer the question directly. So if your business has no pricing guidance, no cost factor content, no FAQ section, no service page that explains the process, and no proof that supports your claims, then what exactly is AI supposed to use? That is the key point. AI search is not magic. It is reading websites, reviews, listings, business information, content, and other sources across the web. So the better question is not, how do I trick AI? The better question is, have I made my business clear enough to be trusted? Now, let's break this down even further, because once you compare a vague business page against a clear business page, you can understand immediately why this one is easier to rank, easier to summarize, and easier for a customer to choose. This is where SEO, AEO, and conversion all meet. Let's say a roofing company has a homepage or service page that says, quality service you can trust. Now, is that wrong? Not really, but it's not useful enough. It does not say what service they offer. It does not say where they do the work. It does not say who they help. It does not give the customer a reason to act. It does not give Google clear context. It does not give AI much to summarize. And it does not help the customer compare that business against anybody else. Now, compare that to this. Residential roof repair in Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Brookfield. Same week inspections. Written estimates within 48 hours, storm damage and insurance claim, work handled in-house, no third party adjusted needed, get a free roof inspection. That is completely different. Now, the search engine understands the service. AI can summarize the business more clearly, and the customer can understand what the company does, where they do it, why they might trust them, and what step to take next. That is the difference. A clear page does not just sound better, it works harder. It becomes a search asset, it becomes an AI source, it becomes a sales page, it becomes something a customer can actually use to make a decision. So when I talk about AEO or AI search readiness, I am not talking about chasing hacks. I'm talking about building better assets. Now, here's a practical part. If I own a local service business, these are the 6 assets I will fix before chasing AI search trends, before publishing a bunch of AI generated blog posts, before worrying about whether ChatGPT recommends me. I will fix these 6 things first. Number 1, your Google business profile. For a local business, this is still one of the most important visibility assets. Ask yourself, is the profile fully completed? Are the categories accurate? Are the services listed? Do the services have descriptions? Are the business hours correct? Are their photos recent? Are reviews being collected consistently? Are reviews being replied to? Is the website link correct? Is the phone number correct? Because if Google business profile is incomplete, do not start worrying about advanced AI search strategy. Start with these assets customers in Google's already use to understand your business. A complete profile helps Google understand the business, gives AI more reliable context, and helps real customers decide whether you look credible enough to contact. Number 2, your service pages. This is where a lot of local businesses are weak. They either have one general service page with everything listed, or they have thin pages that barely explain anything. But every major service should have its own page. If you do lawn maintenance, that should be clear. If you do mulch installation, that should be clear. If you do roof repair, commercial cleaning, brake repair, med spa services, pressure washing, or printing services, those pages should be clearly explain the service. And in the first 100 words, the page should answer what you do, who is it for, where you do it, what problem it solves, and what the visitor should do next. Then the page should answer the questions buyers actually have. How much does it cost? What affects your price? How long does it take? What is the process? What should I expect? What makes this company different? What proof do they have? Your service page is not just a brochure. It is a sales page, a search asset, and now an AI source. Number 3, website messaging. If someone lands on your homepage, they should understand what you do in 5 to 10 seconds. Not after scrolling, not after clicking 3 pages, not after reading a paragraph full of generic claims, immediately. Your hero section should make the basic obvious. What do you offer? Who do you help? Where do you operate? Why should someone trust you? What action should they take? A lot of businesses lead with something like your trusted partner for quality service, but that could apply to almost any business in any industry. A stronger version would say something like weekly lawn maintenance for Dallas homeowners who want consistent mowing, edging, seasonal cleanup without chasing down unreliable crews. That is specific. That gives the customer something to understand. Number 4, reviews and proof. AI search reward clarity and evidence. Customers do too. So do not just think about reviews as stars. Think about them as trust data. Are customers mentioning the specific services they receive? Are they talking about the outcome? Are they mentioning the city or neighborhood when it happens naturally? Are they explaining why they chose you? Are they describing the experience? A review that says great company is nice, but a review that says they repaired our roof leak in Omaha, explained the issue clearly, showed up on time, and gave us options before doing the work is much more useful. That kind of review helps future customers. It gives the language you can use on your website, and it gives search and AI systems more context about what your business actually does well. Also, make sure your proof is visible on your website. Before and after photos, project examples, testimonials, case studies, certifications, service area examples, anything to make your business easier to trust. Number 5, content assets. And I want to be clear here. I'm not talking about just blogging just to blog. I'm talking about more useful content that answers buyer questions. For a local service business, that could be how much does this service cost? What affects the price? What should I expect during the appointment? How do I compare one company to another? What are the signs I need this service? What areas do you serve? What is included in each package? What should I ask before hiring someone? This type of content helps because it meets the customer during the research phase. And that matters because not every search is company near me. Some people are still learning. Some people are trying to figure out who they can trust before they ever submit a form. That is the kind of content strategy local businesses should care about, not random posts. Useful answers that help customers make decisions. Number 6, your technical foundation. This is the least exciting part, but it still matters. Can Google crawl your site? Are your important pages indexable? Does your website work well on mobile? Does it load reasonably fast? Is your business name, address, and phone number consistent? Do your pages have clear titles and description? Is schema added where appropriate? Is your site connected to Search Console? Because if your website is hard to crawl, hard to use, or hard to understand, everything else gets weaker. And this is where people sometimes get confused. Scheming can help, technical SEO can help, but scheming alone is not an SEO, it's not an AI visibility strategy. You cannot add a little code to a vague website and suddenly become the best answer. The technical foundation helps Google across the content. AI customers use the site without friction. So here's my honest warning. Do not buy an AEO package if your website cannot clearly explain your services. Do not chase AI citations if your Google business profile is incomplete. Do not publish more AI generated blogs if your current service pages are weak. Do not worry about AI rankings before you fix the pages that actually convert leads, because the businesses that win are not just going to be the ones using the newest acronym. They're going to be the businesses that are easiest to understand, easiest to trust, and easiest to choose. Here is the one action I would take next. Audit your top 3 visibility assets: your homepage, your highest value service page, and your Google business profile. Look at them like a customer would. Can they understand what you do in a few seconds? Can they tell where you work? Can they see proof? Can they understand the next step? Can they compare you against another company and feel confident choosing you? If the answer is not clear, that is where I would start. Before more content, before more tools, before more AI strategy, fix the assets closest to the sale. That is where AI search readiness starts to become real business growth. If you need any help with this, you can click the link in the bio for a strategy call. On my landing page, I also have a free download that helps you fix your main pages and keep them from leaking leads. So have a good one.